Hey guys, welcome to the Field of 68 YouTube channel. If you like what you see here, hit that subscribe button and you'll get more college basketball content just like this.
With what Terrence Oglesby calls the greatest conference ever. The ACC final score tonight, Duke 79, NC State 64. Rob Dauster, I've got a note for you and I want your reaction right off the top of this show.
Hit me with it.
Since December the 9th, Robert, these are the teams that have the three best records among Power 6 teams. UConn and Purdue at 18-2. Behind them, John Shire's Duke Blue Devils at 19-3, just one off the pace of Connecticut and Purdue. Rob, your reaction to that, your reaction to this Duke team, and are you buying them a little bit more?
Yeah, I am. The three losses were against Pittsburgh when they were missing a couple of starters. Jimmy Roach missed that game. At North Carolina by 9 in what was a close game and a very understandable loss, and at Wake Forest by 4 points in the court storm where Kyle Filipowski miraculously survived that serious injury and bravely returned to the floor. Yeah, I'm in on Duke as one of the higher floor teams in college basketball. I think that when you look at their guard play, when you look at how good Filipowski has been throughout the course of the season, when you look at the emergence of someone like a Sean Stewart, who's been really damn good over the course of the last 3 games, gives them a little more athleticism, gives them a little more dynamism at the 5. It's very hard for me to see Duke being a team that can't make it to the second weekend, right? When you put them in context with someone like a Baylor, for example, who's playing tonight, with someone like a Kentucky, I don't think that they have the upside to be able to score with some of the teams and run with some of the teams and be able to beat anybody in college basketball. But I firmly believe that this is a team that is going to get to the second weekend at minimum. And I just their development throughout the year. John, when you think back to the losses to Arkansas, the loss at Georgia Tech early on in the season, the point when they were 5-3, it kind of looked like a mess, right? It did not look like they were in a position to be able to turn this thing around. But for the second straight season, I think you got to give a lot of credit to John Shire and his ability to kind of figure out what works with this group and find a way to get them playing their best basketball in March. At the end of the day, that is what the best coaches in college hoops do. They find a way to get their teams playing in March at their best, the best level, peaking at the right time. And I think Shire has been able to do that the last 2 years, specifically this year. I'm very, very excited, Tyler, about this game coming up in Cameron Indoor Stadium on Saturday. That is going to be electric. It's going to be an unbelievable atmosphere, and it's going to be for the ACC regular season title. I can't wait. That's what you want in March, right? You want 2 rivals, 2 blue bloods, 2 top 10 teams going at it for a title to hang a banner.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be a great game, and it's going to. The thing with Duke to me is I'm not sure they've really figured out their best lineup, and they really struggled tonight guarding DJ Burns. And I've said all year, Kyle Filipowski is not built for guarding strong physical big men, and he is a dynamic big. He does a lot of different things. He's a spread the court big, but he is not a just grind it down low in the post with a strong physical big. And if you looked at the game in the Smith Center, Armando did the same thing, and DJ did the same thing tonight. DJ just didn't get a lot of help, and you saw Filipowski get into foul trouble against DJ early in the first half, and then that's when they brought in Sean Stewart. And I've said all year they need to play Sean Stewart or some other guy that can bang with these bigs, because I don't think Kyle Filipowski is built for doing it on both ends, especially if they want to be a dynamic, spread the court offensive threat. And I think that's when they're best, is when he's able to do that.
Do you agree, Rob? Is that their Achilles heel?
Yeah, they don't really have that stalwart defensive 5, right? There's a reason why they were linked with players like Ernest Uday in the portal this summer, right? There's a reason why losing Derek Lively was looked at as something that would be difficult for them to overcome. And I just when you see how they've kind of grown through that, right? It's not just Sean Stewart, right? Like I think that Mark Mitchell has gotten better throughout the year at kind of being the athletic switchable piece that they want to use him as. I think Ryan Young, at the bare minimum, is really good at getting in the way, right? There's two different ways that you can kind of be a rim protector. One of them is to block shots above the rim, and the other one is to just kind of get in the way and make it difficult for anybody to get where they want to get to. And I think Ryan Young can do that well enough where he's worth the 10 to 15 to 20 minutes that he's going to get on the floor here. But when I always come back to this, I don't know how many backcourts are better than Jeremy Roach and Jared McCain right now. Right. It's funny when you think about it, because Tyrese Proctor was the guy that we came into the season hailing. Right. And it was me. I probably was the one leading the bandwagon of saying this is a guy that could be an All-American. This is a guy that could be a top 10-ish, lottery-ish kind of a pick. And I still think that potential is there for him, especially long-term. But watching the way that this season has played out, like Jared McCain is as lethal of a shooter as you're going to find in college basketball. Jeremy Roach is as good of a kind of veteran leader point guard that you're going to find in college basketball. When you put those two together, you got a very, very good and a very, very dangerous backcourt. And again, I hate to keep going back to what's happening on Saturday because we're talking about a game that happened tonight, but I'm so excited for RJ Davis and Elliot Cadeau going up against Jared McCain and Jeremy Roach. Like that's one of the most intriguing parts of an incredibly intriguing matchup between those two teams.
Yeah, I can't wait. Saturday night for college basketball is beautiful. You get the Duke Carolina game at 6:30. Then and that's on ESPN. And on primetime broadcast TV on Fox at 8 o'clock is UConn at Providence. And if Providence can beat Georgetown tomorrow, that primetime game at Providence with arguably the best team in the country, number 2 today in the poll, going there. The Saturday night in college hoops is exactly what you want heading into the full-fledged championship week.
Thank you for watching the Field of 68. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, hit that like button, share this link with your friends, or check out the description for some other places that you can consume Field of 68 content.